welcome to our first mid-season season of Rolling Over, Never Going Home. I got my new players here. We just had our first session of Never Going Home. Guys, what do you guys think?
It takes a little get used to. The cards are new. They're going for initiative. Anything with D&D, you know, or I know this isn't D&D, but you used to D&D rules. Roll for initiative, and then you roll your dice.
Yeah.
Doing it with the card. It's interesting. I actually don't mind it. It's a little more nerve-wracking, though. Honestly, now I got to roll initiative. We all have to try to guess who's throwing up a bigger number. If we all decide to throw low because we don't want the other person to get screwed over, and if you roll high or you pull high, then it's just like, well, that sucks.
Does knowing that you're gonna get your card back though, doesn't that help kind of soothe that?
That was, but yeah, because at first I was like, we're spinning a card. I was sitting over here taking notes, like, oh, I just threw away a high card. So
Yep. That's why I didn't use. So I have a higher card than the one I put down, but I'm like, okay, I still need to put down something good, so I at least have a shot at going first. And I ended up putting down the lowest card. So
that was before you knew that you got that card back, and also before you knew that whoever gets the high card gets to choose the order. You know, who goes first, and then after that person goes, the next person goes, right? So it's a little bit.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a newer mechanic, especially like we're talking about being used to D&D and things like that. But yeah, I can get behind it. I can see this being we can spin it to our advantage going forward.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of like a mechanical way of showing that it's about group teamwork and working together as a unit. Because you can put the enemies at the very end of initiative, and that you could have you can hang on to your high card, and as long as the enemies don't draw a higher card than that, you know, you can put them at the end of initiative every single time. That's why holding on to your cards is so important. We haven't gotten into the other uses for the cards yet, but I'm sure they'll probably come up. Charles, what do you think so far? This is your first time playing a role-playing game, period. So it's like, and you've been listening to nothing but like, you know, D&D podcasts.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I mean, you've heard all these, you know, you've been tracking like D&D stuff, and this is completely different. So how do you feel so far?
It's definitely a learning curve. Like I said, the whole initiative thing. You know, I did throw out the highest card because, you know, you say you kind of can choose, you know, who can go first. Now I'm thinking in my mind that somebody will throw higher than that because they want to go first. Wrong. Everybody went low, so, you know, I had to be
I tried to throw high. I was like,
yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I gotta make a choice, you know, who's gonna go first. So I also like that, you know, it's a group thing, you know, because in that game I could have possibly made the wrong decision by making the sergeant go first when, you know, Cody had a real good, you know, idea, like, hey, let the person behind him go first, you know. So I do like the idea of we can still talk about it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it adds a really cool.
John, what do you think so far?
Okay, so your world building and storytelling so far, very, very impressive. If this were like a date with the horror genre, I feel very, very wined and dined right now. I also want to say that I threw the card that I did, having a much higher card than that, thinking the same as everybody else. It's kind of hilarious how everybody was on the same wavelength with that. But I really, really like how this plays. I really enjoy that it's just like when you first like play that card at the beginning of the game and you have no idea what it genuinely means, it's like subjective to you. That is so strangely esoteric and like concerning, but like in like a weird kind of immersive fashion. So I really enjoyed that part to it.
This game is meant to be terrifying. This game is meant to stress you out as a player and as a character.
I still don't know if I played the right card at the beginning of the game. I still don't know.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
That's why I think that's kind of also why I was just like immediately like, this is a bad omen. We're in trouble.
Like full disclosure, I did play the wrong card. I didn't like verbally say anything or like try to give a facial cue. I'm like, I just screwed this up, but it worked out in our favor anyway.
When you need this, I'm like, oh, I hope someone else has this too.
Yeah.
It's not fucked if we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first I was like, oh, I got a pair. I'm like, oh, that doesn't mean nothing, apparently.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel the same way as you guys. I'm new being narrator to this game. It's way different than typical D20 type games, Pathfinder, D&D, and it's different from other horror genre games like Call of Cthulhu 7th edition is a D100 game. It's very chunky and crunchy, which is good, and some people like that. I know I really like that too, but I really like the simplicity of the game. It does take some getting used to. I think more on the side of me having like with the card deck that's online, but it's really the only way for it to work, and it doesn't work so great on Roll20, but that has nothing to do with wetinkgames, their product.
I like the storyline so far. It's not bad at all. You definitely have to. If you have an imagination, don't play it. That's all I'm gonna say. But you have to be able to imagine things with the pictures you're given, like the little map we have. Just looking at that, going to see like, oh yeah, I get it. So.
Yeah, especially I liked when you pulled up the picture of the pathway, because that immediately my brain started going, okay, so this is what's right in front of me, and then I can also visualize the camp we just walked through and all of that other stuff and what these guys are doing and where they came from. So kind of going off of what John was saying earlier, you've built the world perfectly, and with the smallest hint of like visual aid, I'm there. I can see it.
Yeah, it helps me determine what next step I'm going to make.
Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I did put several hours of prep into this, and so I really appreciate you guys saying that stuff. I'm glad that you guys are having fun. I'm having fun, and we will find out what Sergeant Voorhees does next time on Roll Top Realms presents our mid-season season Never Going Home, a Weddings game. Bye for now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye now.
Bye now.
See ya. Goodbye. Bye.